actress Morven Christie joins us now. Delighted to have you.
Lovely
to have
to see you.
We spoke to Lee Ingleby on the programme
Yes.
last week. Yeah, we're talking about the A word as well. I mean, it's a programme that deals with such an important issue. I remember him talking about how much research he'd done into it as well. Was that something that was important to you too?
Yeah, I think when we did the first series, I started to kind of do research, and then I realised that I was kind of putting myself ahead of the character in terms of what I knew, because Alison just didn't have a clue. And that was where all her terror came from. So I kind of stopped. But then this year, she's really done her homework. So I really did my homework.
She really has, because you come back to the story sort of a couple of years later, don't you, when things have really changed and the little boy is at school.
Yes.
And obviously that brings its own difficulties, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I think with autism disorder, things become clearer as kids get older.
Lots of people who have children who are on the spectrum somewhere really, the programme really resonates with them. Do you get quite a bit of feedback on that issue?
Yeah, we do, and we get it from both sides. Actually, we get, you know, thank you. It's so good to actually see this. This was what my experience was. But we also get people saying, you know, it wasn't like this for us. It was completely different. We were really relieved when we found out, or you know, and I think that's almost been one of the most challenging things about it, is that this is just the story of one family, and every child is different, whether they're on the autism spectrum or not. So, and I think what's wonderful is that because this is telling a story about a family with autism, you start to realise that because that isn't a story that's been told, there are people just kind of crying out for it, I think. You know.
And it's not just the parents of people with children with autism, for example. It's kind of the impact that it has on other people, because there are lots of questions that people want to ask, and actually the programme in some way answers them.
Yeah, yeah. I think Joe has this thing with his headphones, right? He likes to wear these headphones.
He plays great music.
He has a 50-year-old man's taste in music, which is slightly odd, but we won't talk about that. Bowker. Yeah, I think, so I have a friend whose little boy has autism, and he wears ear defenders or headphones quite often. And now people are much more, she just said people smile at us now.
Right.
And that's I think that's incredibly profound. Yeah, he's welcomed in a way that maybe he wasn't before, so that's good.
We need to talk to you about the replacement as well, because